Okay, here we go. So first of all, I have the starter ready and the water over here. By the way, for 2 loaves, it's somewhere around 3 cups usually is the grams. And then the flour here. And obviously, salt. You know that's it because you've been doing this long enough. So, first comes the starter at 100 grams. And it doesn't matter if it's more than that. Probably gonna be more. Yeah, trying to do this one-handed is, okay, close enough. So there's 103, back to 0. And then the water. And I'm gonna do, let me think. I think I'm gonna do 700, is that what I'm doing? 350, yeah. Nope, I changed it to 680. So a little more than 690. I'm gonna do 690. Just a little bit more hydration. Okay, 693. And then I'm sure you already know this, but for sure, never put the salt in at this stage because it's a deterrent to growth. Perfect. Obviously looks milky. Back to 0. And then like 1,000 grams. Pretty much always 1,000 for 2 and 500 for 1. You just more change the hydration levels to what you want. And of course, lower hydration levels are better when you're starting out because they're pretty much no fail. Oh, there we go. Basically, I'm just gonna, that one's done. I don't think that's gonna make a difference. All right, back to 0, back to 0, and 20 grams of salt, which I just throw on top of the powder. That way the starter is still safe from that salt. There we go. Then, let me see, how do I turn this around? Well, we're just gonna, I don't see the little, maybe you just can't do that right now. I was gonna turn it around. Let me try and do, it's pretty much, you know how to mix it. You know how to mix a bowl, but I'll just go like this then. I don't know if you can see or not if I do that. Okay, I'm just gonna mix it. You know how to mix. I'm just gonna show you here in a second what mine looks like after. I don't know why, I really feel like I still gotta show you me mixing, even though you know how to mix. We all know how to mix. It's also like, I'll get it mixed a little bit with the dough hook and then just goodbye and do the rest of it with the hands. It's just easier that way. And then if you don't know the trick, I'll show you in a minute. Some people don't like to, I've noticed when I'm watching everybody else do theirs, they want to, they don't like to get their hands dirty. I don't either, really. But I just don't know how else to get it really for sure mixed to where I know for sure it is mixed. That you can kind of feel it with your hands when you're done. So, if, I don't know if you know this trick or not, but hold on. I'm gonna keep talking for a second. I'll be I'll be right back. But if you can't get the dough off, you just stick your hand into the flour like this, look. Stick your hand into the flour like that. Comes out with a mess of flour. And then you just, see how yucky my hand is right there? Watch. Then I'm just gonna like rub my hands together. You can't see it because I don't know how to work a camera good. But all I'm doing right now is rubbing my hands together. Just kind of rubbing that flour off, and watch. You're not gonna believe my hand here in a second. It's not gonna have any dough on it. Okay, it's gonna have a little dough on it, but basically none. Basically that glob is gone. Then 1 second later, maybe 10 seconds later. Okay, I'm all clean. And so that shaggy dough, shaggy. And I use these little thingies right here, like that, to just, maybe I can use this little stand and show you. Yeah, just stick it on top. Just stuck it on top like that. And then I set my timer for 30 minutes. Come back and do a stretch and fold, which I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, we're back. And is that going? Okay. So now, just do the stretch and folds. Obviously, wet your hand a little bit. And I also noticed in watching other people's that they do a ton of stretch and folds, like 10 minutes worth. And I was watching this girl do it the other day, and man, she was really into it. And she said she thinks that maybe the longer you go on these stretch and folds, which I'm putting my hand in the water way too much. I don't know why I keep doing that. You don't want to do that all the time because you're going to mess up the hydration. But she thinks that maybe you get a little bit chewier a crust when you do like 10 minutes of stretch and folds versus just the few that I do. I do just a couple of stretch and folds right here every time. That's it. I'm going to do just maybe one more here just to make it look more silky, really just for purposes if I want it to look like that. And so, but that's it. Look at that. The video is 1 minute long, basically. So, but then she said that it's like more of a papery, crunchy crust whenever you do it like I just did it, instead of spending like 10 minutes on your stretch and folds. So I like that papery kind of crunchy, crispy, soft layer. Now that doesn't stay that way very long though. By the next day, it's gone, the crunchiness, and it's kind of to a softer, more bready dough, more bread loaf dough. Anyway, there we go. There's that one. We'll do 2 more, and then tonight I'm done. Okay, stretch and fold 2. This is now spread out in the bowl like that. Looking good. I should be just wetting my hand. It's feeling so soft now. Stretch and fold. Just a few times. Go like this. I was thinking about it too a minute ago. Like I was showing you my ratty green cap, and I forgot you bought those pretty little cottagey looking ones that are like probably not meant to be disposed of like mine. Of course, I've never disposed of any of mine. I just keep using them over and over. I don't know if that's so sanitary, but I know that for the dough, it doesn't matter because I'm cooking it in like a 500-degree oven. So if it's not that sanitary, it's really no big deal for the bread. Anyway, so that's it. There we are, stretch and folds. All done with the second one. That is another 1 minute video. So 1 more and we are done for the night. And I'll show you the little thingy I put it in. I think it's probably like yours, but anywho, talk to you in a minute. Okay, final stretch. And you can see in the bowl, it's actually getting bigger. It's growing already with these, throughout these stretch and folds, it's kind of growing. So, and it is so soft now, my gosh, it's so soft. So final stretch and fold. Pulling that over. And you probably know this, but it's strengthening the strands of gluten when you do this. And this is a form of kneading. So you can feel it like go from soft to tight while you're quote kneading this. And anytime you're working with dough, if you let it relax, it gets softer and easier to work with. And that's any dough, that's not just sourdough. So if you're like trying to make challah bread someday, or any kind of braided bread, or even tortillas, if you let that dough sit after you're messing with it and kneading with it, and you try to roll your kind of snake things out to make your braids or your challah bread, and if it's just not cooperating with you, you just let it sit there for maybe like 5 minutes, and it'll get soft and easy to work with. All of a sudden, you'll be able to just roll that dough right out. And so now we're gonna this is done. We are done for the night. I'm putting it in this. It's gonna take up, it's gonna go like that. It's gonna take up about 1.5 liters when it's done. That's about how much your bread should take up, your dough should take up. And it is there, especially once it relaxes and fills in all those holes. After it relaxes, it will settle to about 1.5, and then it will grow to that 3-liter mark, probably around 5:30, by around 5:30 or 6:30 in the morning. I try to set the temperature at night to about 70. And if I set it to about 70, then that means I can not sleep a little longer if I do get up around 5:30, but I get to have my Bible study first and then shape my dough, which is how it should be. But if I forget to turn that temperature down, then like the second 5:30 rolls around, I have to get up and get in here and get that dough shaped. So anywho, we may as well, so I'm just gonna tell you. I'll just put it on there so you can remember to do that in your house. Come on, little baby. All right, 69. I'm gonna put it on 69. And that way, I mean, as long as I get it done before I go to work, that's good. So there we are. We're done for the night. Love you.